that little
So we'll
story.
be 13 hours early.
Hello, everybody. We are 13 hours early for the scheduled live. We've always, in business, we always got hiccups. And today we are sharing on the Ready, Set, Grow show with Deb and Hillary. Yes, we're coming to you on a Wednesday. Different day. We had a little bit of hiccups on Tuesday, and we have some more hiccups today. You would actually see that this live was scheduled for 11 p.m. That's what happens with mommy brain sometimes, okay? So don't worry about that. We're here live with you today, Wednesday, and it's a different day, a different time, but we're still here to share the goods with you. And we are talking about funny, this whole thing was not going to come up, but yes, 5 key principles of becoming an entrepreneur. Now, we
Mhm.
know that as an entrepreneur, we have to work on different aspects of our business. And one of the things, Deb, I was talking to a mutual mentor of ours recently, and she was just reminding me of how entrepreneurship is different to a job. When you leave your job, you are leaving an organization that has the HR department, that has the marketing department, that has the legal department. They've got the career development department and all of these things. Apart from the core units of the business, whatever the core operations of the business are. And when you become an entrepreneur, a lot of that falls on you, the entrepreneur.
Right.
And that's why, one of the first things that I think the reason for becoming an entrepreneur, one of the first things is that you build a network, because you are now your own business and you are the legal department, the marketing department, the sales department, the HR department. So you have to build a network in order to be able to reach out. All right. So, like, I find myself, and I've found myself over the years, reaching out to people who I know in my network to support me in my business. I don't know,
Right.
it's like, um, whether it's a graphic designer, a web designer, whoever, but that's your network of people that you're starting to build to help support you in your entrepreneurial journey, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's true too, as far as building your network. You part of that network can be team members,
Yes.
and you always want. I can only speak for myself. I always want to make people feel like they're wanted and needed. So you want to reach out and tap their strengths, which might be technology
Mm-hmm.
or marketing or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
you always are looking. And if you don't have a team, like Hillary says, you reach out to the people that you know to help you.
Yeah.
And that's how you get from a job to being an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, exactly. Yeah. So one of the second things, I mean, that ties right into it, is that you do need somebody to help you. And one of the things that, it was interesting because most of the organizations that I worked in previously, they used to send us on these like career development courses, or what do you call them? Like
Seminars.
seminars and all of these type of things. Yeah.
Yeah, my brain just
Right.
went blank too.
Yeah, mine too. But you see, and what it demonstrated is that the organization understood that its employees, even though you maybe came into the organization with whatever qualifications you have, you still need somebody to help you and guide you and bring you up to speed. And
Help
it's
you
the
grow.
same thing in entrepreneurship, and which is why the second thing that entrepreneurs need are coaches and mentors. And a
Right.
lot of people think that, well, you know what, I am 40 something years old, or I'm 50 something years old, I've worked my whole career, I must know how to run a business. And the truth of the matter is, no,
Right.
you don't know what you don't know. And that is why coaches and mentors are so important. Apart from the fact that they literally cut the time in half for you
Right.
to be able to
Yeah.
grow.
And that's just like with me. I wasn't taught in nurses training how to be an entrepreneur. I was an employee,
Mhm.
and I knew that there was something inside that wanted to get out. And when she finally jumped out, it was like, yeah, but I'm like, whoa, I need help. I don't know what to do.
What to do?
So I had
Right.
to reach out for mentors and coaches. And
Mhm.
what they did, as Hillary said, they cut some of my growth time because of the pitfalls they already had experienced. They helped me to either jump over it or walk around it or pull me out of it quicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, mentors are and coaches are very much needed for all of us.
Yes, definitely. I would say so that the quickest way to buy time, buy speed, right, is to hire a mentor, hire a coach. And whether you think you need one or not, that's where maybe you're not ready to take that leap, because
Right.
entrepreneurship is, you have to do it within a community, within a group. And that's why you first want to make sure you have that network, build your network, keep building your network, keep reaching out to people, because that is literally what builds your business. In a sense, it's your network, because you
Mhm.
can't rely now on the company's network or the company's brand or whatever it is, because you're not an employee anymore. You are the boss of all things, and people are going to connect with you. All right.
Right. Right.
So the third aspect, and I know maybe we touched on this a couple weeks ago, is the funding of your dream. All
Mhm.
right. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs are called dreamers, right? Especially in my neck of the woods. We are trained and schooled into the go to school, go to college, get a
Get a
job,
good job.
and
Mhm.
then you would live happily ever after, or so they think. Uh, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Regardless of what path you take, you still got to struggle. But funding your business, funding your dream is another important aspect that you have to think about and go into with real, I guess you could say, with your eyes wide open. So,
Right.
yeah, you can't just decide, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, and you haven't given any thought to how you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, who's going to pay the bills. And then you need to put aside, because guess what? As an entrepreneur, you need to have certain things. You need to, so just to hire a mentor, for example, that costs money. So
Right.
you need to put that aside. Having a website, doing advertising, even the tools and systems that you use for your business,
A computer.
a computer, all right? You've got to have a way of funding your dream. And we say dream, but it's your business. So think of it the same way you would a brick and mortar then. What
Right.
do you need? What do you need to fund it? And then go through those, very important. And the thing is, you could actually, because what I realized with different communities, you could tap into some of the resources that allow you to maybe mitigate the cost. It's not going to take the
Right.
entire cost away, but you can mitigate some of the cost to be able to pay for this or pay for that. Like in our community, we know one guy, he bought his computer, right? Because
Mhm.
he's a member, he was able to buy his computer. So that is like, look for the avenues that allow you to build.
Right, right. And the other way, what another thing that you definitely have to do in order to be able to survive, in order to be able to buy your extra light or your backdrop or all the little things that you don't even think about, you have to budget.
Yeah,
You have to put so much aside monthly.
monthly.
And before you know it, it has grown, and you can purchase if you need a new computer, if you need a ring light, if you need a backdrop or whatever. But you've got to budget a certain amount. Plus, taxes. You got to put back for taxes because as an entrepreneur, we are taxed.
Yeah,
And so you've got to think about all of that
all
stuff.
of those things.
And
Yeah.
that's how you fund your dream.
Yeah. So the next, I think we're at number 4, right? We're
Yes,
talking
yes.
about you as, and this was something that another shared mentor said. as an entrepreneur, you're a salesperson, whether you like it or not. You're in sales of selling yourself. So you've got to keep up with all the current marketing strategies, current
Mm-hmm.
marketing tactics, whatever. You have to keep up with them. And if you don't, guess what? You got to put that in your budget to hire somebody who will do it for you. All right.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But if you're not doing it, right? And I know that, because as a social media manager, I know most businesses and most business owners, like even some of the women entrepreneur groups that we're both a part of, that is one of the things that they're like, somebody take the marketing because they just can't keep up with it.
Right.
Because it is vital that you keep up with it. Because if you do,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to market yourself efficiently in your business. All right.
Right. And that's the thing. Like Hillary says, we're salespeople. But basically what we are selling is ourself.
Oh,
And so, if we are not using, it doesn't have to be the best, but it's got to be in the line of, and I can't think of anything right now, but what I'm thinking of are platforms. There's many different platforms out there that we can sell. And basically what we're selling is ourselves.
oh, yes.
People have to learn to know us, learn to like us, and then they can trust us.
Yeah.
And so that is our prime selling point, is ourself. Another word is branding. We're branding ourselves. We're letting you get to know us so you can trust us. And if you're not keeping up with different marketing strategies, you're going to get lost in the crowd is what's going to happen. So you've got to constantly be aware of what is changing. And we know life is always changing.
Yes, the marketing, and you've got to understand that there are fundamentals in marketing, and then there are all the different changes and whether or not, because like recently, I saw some leaders inside of the network marketing space talking about TikTok, and there's some businesses that, okay, TikTok came and TikTok could go and it wouldn't affect their business, right?
Right.
But if Facebook left, it would definitely affect their business.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
if Pinterest left, it will affect their business. So you need to have a kind of a thumb on what's going on in terms of what are the different avenues that you market yourself, right? You need to know where you can market yourself and how you're going to choose to market yourself in a sense, right? Because the social platforms are not the only places, right?
Right.
In our COVID era, as I call it, there, long ago you would be like, okay, well, we go to this conference and we speak to different people, and all of that is part of marketing. But now we're kind of limited to the internet in a sense, right? So you've
Yeah.
got to know what is happening in the marketing arena. And then the last part about, becoming an entrepreneur is, unlike a job where it's your sole source of income, all right, as an entrepreneur, you don't only have the ability, but you better have multiple streams of income, or multiple, what we call, companies. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the ability to basically, you have like your overarching, whatever your brand is, but you could be in there an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, a coach, selling a service and product. That's what we call the multiple streams of income. And it's
Right.
important that you do it. And sometimes I say to myself, as entrepreneurs, we kind of pigeonhole ourselves and we don't think about the same company that we left our job with. They didn't have one source of income.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
They
Exactly.
just
And
one.
it's kind of like, I'm going to use the medical terms here. I was a case manager. Well, case manager is a big umbrella, but under that umbrella, I was a parish nurse. I was a patient advocate. I was a hospice nurse. I was a home care nurse. All of that goes under one umbrella, and that's You are the umbrella.
I love
When you brand yourself, that's your top priority, is to brand yourself. And then you bring in all your other businesses, like Hillary had said. And we need extra streams, because you never know when a stream will dry up,
Dry up, exactly.
and then you're left high and dry. So that's why most, if not all, entrepreneurs, or they better be all entrepreneurs, have at least several streams. Your millionaires, billionaires, you wouldn't believe how many streams they have. I had heard that Mark Cuban, who is on Shark Tank,
Mhm.
has 180 streams of income. Really? Now, obviously, he has people helping to manage
Help
that,
it,
but
exactly.
still.
He's got a network of people helping him to manage that.
Mhm.
He has a mentor and a coach who guides him to know which one of those investments he should go into. All right. The investments, they tie back and they keep funding. All right. So when we look at, yes, and sometimes it's difficult for us to say, okay, we're going to look at the Mark Cubans or even James Malchak, or some of the other big names, right? Kevin Harrington, right? And all of these people, they seem to just, well, they've got the resources to do all of this. And I think we need to look at it the other way. It's because they've done all of this that they have the resources to do
Yes,
it. Okay.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
that is the mindset that you have to move towards. It's because they had coaches, all right, because they built their network, because they budgeted and planned their funding, that they were
Exactly.
able to do all of these things. All right.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, five, and I think key essentials. Deb, I'm so glad that we were able to dive into this, because especially coming towards the end of the year, planning for 2021, entrepreneurs need to get serious about how they approach their business. And you've
Yeah.
got to focus on these 5 things. All right. Building your network, getting a coach or mentor. All right. Hiring a coach or mentor, budgeting so that you could fund your dream properly, keeping a close eye on new marketing strategies and understanding the marketing strategies. And last but not least, start thinking about multiple streams. What are different business opportunities that you could get into that are not going to erode each other? Okay. All right. Look at what you can get into that will bring in multiple streams, so that, when one does dry up, you have something else to fall back on. All right.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And with 2021, 3 weeks away,
Wait.
if you are a serious entrepreneur, you really want to grow your business, I hope that you have heard what we said today, particularly, because if you don't, then basically, maybe your business is just a hobby.
Yeah.
And a lot of times hobbies don't really pay us. So,
Yeah. They don't pay us, they don't feed us, they don't put the roof over your head if it's a hobby. So
right.
Get out there and start growing your business with these 5 key principles. All right. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.